sliding into the barrel. The snap is magnetic. Second puts them away.
Vem round do MIBR. MIBR tava do lado. Cortesia!
I am joined by Kaplan before their next match. I mean, this is such a night and day difference from yesterday. Zealous out there fragging harder than Ospas. We got aces around. You guys are crushing on Abyss. How did you get the chip off your shoulder you were mentioning just from yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, the chip has been growing a lot. Like, we just have not felt like, I don't think we've shown up on stage yet as a team. I think this is the first day we really have. It just comes down to, before anything, it's about the vibes, right? You need to look out for each other. You need to get angry. You need to talk out your mistakes. You need to tell each other to calm down. Everyone's a leader. It's everyone's team. Everyone's getting that today. I think it's showing in Jordan's fragging. He doesn't have to carry it all. He could just shoot because everyone else is suddenly just pulling their weight really well. I'm really proud of him, and we just got to keep it up, close out.
All right, Kaplan, thanks for the insight. Good luck in the games.
Thanks.
And with that win, Sentinels are just one map away from joining G2 Esports and qualifying for Masters Bangkok. But on the other side, MIBR need to wake up now. Their only hope of staying alive in this competition is a reverse sweep against Sentinels, who are up 2-0 on this one. I'm Golden Boy alongside Sideshow, Brendan, Mimi. Let's go ahead and break it all down, guys, because we could really just break down Sentinels just looking great.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about how great Sen's looking, but MIBR are struggling. I thought that Abyss was going to be the map for them to take, to be honest, to have a chance to get back into this series overall, but Sen were fantastic. They came out with amazing ideas throughout the entirety of it, and they're hitting back as well. I mean, the mechanics are what we talk about and laud MIBR for, honestly, is having on their side, but the Sen players are hitting.
Yeah, we talked a lot about the mistakes in the fundamentals for Sentinels, losing them that last game, and I thought it looked on point here on their attacking side. Last time MIBR was playing this, Ospas got to run rampant on the map, do whatever he wanted, but Sen had very good solutions, using their smokes to take space across the map. They had very good timings off the KO utility on their executes. It looked like a much cleaner game for Sentinels.
MIBR were able to take both the pistols, but I wanted to showcase a round here of Sentinels coming out with a great eco game plan. This is round 2. And John throws a recon dart. The idea here is to play recons through the smoke. So the recon dart lands, and look at that, a TP and a dash inside. This is pistols against some level of weaponry on the other side of things. And if you look from their POV here, updraft, dash, in with narrate, and Zekken is able to find illuminated targets on the other side that they take down and snowball into a round win. This breaks the MIBR economy. It's a great game plan to throw out on an eco round, as you're just looking for like a cheeky pick to be able to make it work. And they take this forwards into a dominant series of momentous rounds where they're able to go just cascade. The dominoes fell from this very spot.
And a reason that's so important as well is we were talking about the win cons for MIBR, Aspas operator. If they win the pistol and they win the follow-up, they have the economy rolling to actually get that in his hands. They had a few rounds, don't get me wrong, where they managed to scramble it together, but Sen was still having good game plans, I think, to cook up to avoid it in the first place.
It was also a continuation of step-ups from the players that Sentinels needed. Absolutely coming from Celsius again after a tough tournament. Some mistakes in that last series. Looked great on both these maps. Narrate as well, having a huge step-up to now have back-to-back dominant maps and be only a game away from repeating the history of last year, making it to that first global event, going to a final through the lower bracket, and having a chance to run it back for Sen.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about MIBR in a sec, but first, let's actually hear from Coach Fraud and get his thoughts going into our next map.
I'm joined by Fraud before their next matchup. A quick question for the first 2 games. It seems like the team is finding their stride in some rounds, getting a few of those to their own, to themselves. But where's the momentum? What seems to be the missing piece?
I think we're losing some rounds that we really can't be losing, like ecos, rounds that we have 3 or 4 ultimates. I think we just need to be a little bit, treat the rounds a little bit more care, make it a little bit easier for us when we have those advantages, when they have bad guns, or when we have those ultimates. I think that we're making some of those mistakes right now, but I had a good talk with the boys outside, and hopefully we're going to reverse sweep this.
Can't wait to see it, Fraud. Thank you. Good luck.
All right, so there you hear from Coach Fraud as MIBR gets ready for this one. We'll continue the conversation about MIBR, but there's also just one last player that we do got to highlight because he's kind of been a little bit of the main character today in this event or in this matchup, and that's Narrate, who really, on that bait, this kid Sideshow is finding so much success. He's been doing great work.
Yeah, we just watched him play Omen, but I wanted to highlight the Fade here because we're about to go into another probable Fade map because Pearl is what we've got as potentially Sen's last map before they qual for Bangkok. And he he is finding so much value on this agent. He looks comfortable, he played a ton of it last year, and you can see in the numbers the difference that it makes. Now, I also think that they have solved something. I believe Kaplan in his coach interview when he was talking about the mentality and the chemistry looking better, even if it's not to do with the agents that they're specifically playing. They just look a bit more cohesive today.
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, Kaplan said, he was like, listen, sometimes it takes people getting angry at each other to work out the solutions. And I think these lower brackets is where it really gets formed and where teams get tested in this capacity. SEN needed this, I think, to really be a winning team. If they wanted a chance to even go far in Bangkok, they needed to get pushed down into the lowers.
Do or die for MIBR now, though. If they lose this map, it'll be the first time Ospas hasn't made a global event since the first Masters of last year. A lot riding on this map for Made in Brazil.
Yeah, and let's not forget MIBR have been put through the ringer, having to go up against Crew yesterday, and only 12 hours needed to go up against a Sentinels that is quite game and very prepared. Can MIBR bounce back? That is a question on everyone's mind. Map 3 coming up after this quick break. Don't go anywhere.
It was an ambitious plan for MIBR coming into this 2025 season of Americas. They go to the youngsters in Brazil. They bring a couple of rookies into the team, along with Artesian, who didn't shine last year in his debut year, and they looked great. But now it's time to put up or shut up and walk away from kickoff here in 2025.
And the core of that being this Noswar and Ospas friendship duo that we thought were going to play on Leviathan at the beginning of last year until the organization made that swap. And now they finally get to play together. The results have obviously been there. We're getting into Pearl. This is what SEN have been playing every single time. Running this Tejo with Zekin on the Yoru where he's really been able to shine. And you got Neri back on the fade. Josh mentioned that on the desk. The comfort level that he has on that agent. We saw that on Lotus.
And MIBR end up going with a comp that they've pedaled out quite a few times on this map. It is old school, honestly. We have a Killjoy here up against the Tejo. Seems difficult here to get value out of your lockdown consistently.
And your util, when it's scattered around the site on defense, it's going to get broken by the guided salvos. I think they've missed out on running the Vice here, having that arc rows in the wall that aren't going to be easily, I mean, the wall literally can't get broken by utility. It's gonna be tough to get as much value as you want out of the KJ against Sentinels comp. We'll have to see what MIBR have prepared. It's do or die. All time, they've played 3 matches against SEN before this one. They've never won a map. They're down 0-6, now 0-8. With any iteration of their roster, when these organizations have matched up, they need to rally back. The rookies need to come to life. Ospas needs to lead them.
Ospas will have his 2,000th kill in VCT Americas on this map. Higher than anybody else in any other international league, and he'd love for it not to be bittersweet. MIBR need this map to stay alive.
It's Noswar who's actually now rotated into halls, was in a more passive position, but wants to play with Artesian, forced to get out, routed by the guided salvos.
Completely clears halls. Artesian going to play close to an anti-flash and whips himself around. Ends up being a 1-for-1, but Noswar has seen better days. He's low and Cortesia is forced out by this arc rose. Again, this hip, new, cool comp from SEN made it hard for MIBR to have anything to say about that hit.
They are triple stacked up back halls, but MIBR don't have any utility piece to get them out of there.
Zelsis shows. Cortesia will be noted now as Aspas goes down, still denied that 2,000th. And Genom really led the way for MIBR on a very underwhelming Abyss. Will fall and give Zekin his 3rd.
And Arten was trying to do his Jogamo cosplay, hiding in that same little corner tucked behind the Nebula, but only got 1. Sentinels learning from their woes against G2 in that instance. Tough start for MIBR.
Like that anti-flash turn there. Once again, an imposter among us.
And we see immediately in that round as well on display the dangers of trying to play some of those positions where you're dug into the site back halls, you're just going to get crushed by Sentinel's oppressive utility.
So once more here, we are going to head towards the V site. That Smoker's going to guard the cross, so even if Cortesia was holding the line, he would not have seen this. Drone gets down.
Is just so good. It covers so much distance.
There's a Yoru clone. Cortesia sees it, goes for the shot. Prowler cleared, and okay. Stinger go, brrr, Cortesia trying to hold his own, but eventually the Prowler comes to call. Noswa drops on down, but is dead before he hits the ground.
Only 3 up for MIBR, and for SEN, Zekin, dimensional drift already off those kills.
Unreal.
Gets the plant.
That will be massive next round. An anti-eco here for MIBR that has just not yielded any results so far. Cortesia overrun on multiple occasions here on this B side. And John's going to go hunting.
Wants to get a bit closer to that Armageddon. He's way off at the moment.
Moroccan Mastermind wants for a bit more of a fight. Artisan lies in wait. There's a crossfire there to catch him, but this round's all but done. Bang opts not to get aggressive with this Ghost here. He brought heavy armor into the round, fair enough, and SEN string those quick couple together.
I'm excited to see what they have in store for us with the dimensional drift. That's going to be the pivotal element of this round. SEN love to try and pressure towards B, really insert Zekin deep, almost pressed up to the site, like to default, and then he'll gate crash, teleport back into an A split with maybe the, maybe 2 going through Art, and then he goes to the other 2 in A main. They run a lot of plays like that.
Also the heavy Teho util into halls, and then Zekin gate crashes or comes out of dimensional drift into that spot and is deep on the site ready to fight for it.
Sentinels in this tournament have won the massive majority of rounds where they have dimensional drift, some 90+% of them.
That is
getting the information into Link.
That is quite the stat, Wyatt.
And he has the gate crash to get back to the rest of his team.
Oh, we're doing this. Artisan already goes down. Bang playing so patiently, waiting for the push-up. Bucky is a little outranged here, but there's John once again finds a kill off the salvo.
And it's just all too easy when Zekin can ping everybody out.
Sorry, this is a bonus with a Bucky and a Spectre. Aspas, the human tornado, is on the hunt.
One down.
Gets the better of Bang and comes out unscathed.
Already, though, the plan for MIBR had been just to save. Noswar and Shannon were not trying to take any kind of engagement towards B. The dimensional drift is just such an insanely powerful ultimate, and especially so in this meta where Teho Breach is really prevalent. Being able to ping these players out, knowing that they had retreated into Link, then they're enclosed in that tight space. It's just free for John.
And despite MIBR being happy to mix in these double duelist comps, something a little bit different, there are some maps like this where they are really play such a traditional style comps that you could argue have been power crept a little bit with Teho and Yoru being so powerful.
The SEN came into this tournament running all of the new agents and putting a big emphasis on Yoru. It's been them and G2 playing the most of that duelist. It is just tragic. MIBR, they're able to get a reasonable buy into this round because of those saves, though. Few Guardians among them.
He's done it, by the way. 2,000 kills for Aspas. And it was a clean one, by the way.
Leading the globe.
Yeah, the most killingest player in every international league. I think Texas the next closest at like 1,760 odd. So he's clearing.
Early 0 point over towards A main. Didn't connect for MIBR, and it's going to allow Shannon to post up in a more aggressive position as center on this mid-exploration. Look at the space that Zekin is just proactively gaining. He can teleport out whenever he wants. He's going to take the risks.
Why not stay? He does, in fact, hang around a little longer. Ping down towards the bottom of Connector. There is that a main presence here for MIBR. They do have Shannon pushed up. Narrate's waiting for a call or a piece of util to come back off cooldown.
MIBR being forced to watch such passive angles, and with this noise cut, look at Artzin.
He's drifting back over. There could be an avenue here for Zekin to get in. He is committed, there's no gate crash available. Shannon is tucked in and ready to throw down. He knows he has no choice. It's do or die. Might have had a timing, but the Prowler does sniff him out. It doesn't matter. Shannon is electric. Beautiful transfer, and both heads will roll. Celsius and Zekin, though, putting it together.
They're not out of the woods just yet.
One
Low
more
HP.
And MIBR will be asleep. Up on the side here, time is short. This is going to light them. Zekin clears it in time. Cortezia now, the Arc Rose kept him at bay. Didn't buy enough time. Was it enough? It's going to be up to Celsius yet again.
MIBR, this is must win.
Oh, Celsius has to reload there. Takes so much damage. These are just taps on the spike. Celsius.
Oh
Big ask, in fairness.
There was a shot. They were lined up next to each other.
That would have been quite something. Shenom, incredible control of A main in that round. Against the odds after getting chomped on by a Prowler.
Yeah, the round completely defined by him there. There was definitely a time period in the mid-round where he could feel the walls closing in on him after Zekin got all of that space towards Art playing off the stealth drone.
Nice.
Knew that there was going to come a time where he was going to get pinched by players in main and coming from the site.
Jeez, that's so rough. Just let him have a good day.
He's playing
Just
great.
let him have a day.
He's looking like an all-star today. We don't need to bring that up.
Man, we are going deep here to try
It's
and
better to forget.
deflate the cranium of Celsius. Jesus. We're going for the deep magic to keep him grounded. That's wild.
Aspas is pushed up here alone. And given that SEN, they're not running the KO, which is going to be seen often on this map, he doesn't have to worry about getting his dash turned off, so he can, play a bit more actively in that way than he was able to on Abyss.
Surely our statisticians aren't hinting at the possibility of a reverse sweep here as well in a best of 5. It's too much to imagine at this point. Still another slower round here for SEN.
And the Prowlers, double Prowlers actually being sent. With the Haunt as well, trying to make a lot of noise in Art.
Aspas doesn't expect the recall of the star as opposed to the full Nebula placement. He's able to reposition though, albeit having taken a little bit of damage, and it might be a grab. Well, Nova Pulse actually catches him on that corner. There are plays pinged out for Aspas, and Cortezia gets involved! Aspas eventually is unleashed, and a flawless here for MIBR as SEN let the sands of time slip through their fingers.
A really confident decision from MIBR to get in and anchor with Aspas. Despite having picked up that kill on the other side of the map, they could have just played for an honest 5-on-4 retake. But now they wanted to fight them at the choke.
Oh, it's giving Jorgamo that one.
Yeah, it really is. Honestly, it's giving they took away from that G2 game that we should fight them at the smoke while they're getting into the site, close up. Those further positions in the site, like halls, they're going to get littered with all of that Teho utility. We have to stop them at the choke and play aggro. Worked out for them there. And it's put them in a position where if they win this round, SEN's economy is going to get broken.
The Tita's on the edge right now. A string of 3 rounds put together by Sentinels. Aspas is the one manning the helm at the A main position this time. And Bang opts to pull back here after the Prowler gets contact.
And MIBR, they triple re-clear Art. That's really good from them to get some information for the rotates. From this point, they still have a turret watching towards B-Link as well. Cortezia wants to play off that. Does he get aggro? Does he take the fight, though?
So lockdown round here for the defenders. Keep that in mind. It's a full firing squad for Cortezia, and Artesian just overstepped his bounds there.
He's trying to do too much. He overextends just to get the Marley off. It just didn't matter that much, man. His life is thrown away.
Still, time is getting short. Once again, SEN have allowed the wick to burn fairly low.
They want to pivot towards B. Nazwar, the lone player. That's a long-range engagement, but he just...
struggling this game, the veteran.
Right into the firing line.
All right. Steel Guardian going to be used here on B. It does have to be a commitment, but there's nobody here at the door to greet Sentinels this time around. No spray down, no Aspas gumming up the works.
And when you're Cortezia here with the lockdown, you need to play around the timing of John's guided salvos. He still has them up at the moment, so if he decides to place that, it's absolutely worthless right now.
There's no way you can do that. John surely is holding on to this ability. Wild that a rechargeable ability can counter an ultimate. It's just Teho's world, we're just living in it. Aspas can't help Cortezia on this push. Still though, man, the guy's classy. Great piece. Zekin easily felled. There's like a Nova Pulse there on the side. Narrate has to go massive here. It all starts to fall apart, but this time on Narrate's side. As in, it's getting low for MIBR. Narrate playing with his food. Xenom finds his third of the round, but no time left. And MIBR will go up in smoke.
The flank from Xenom almost completely paid off, but ultimately it's just too late. This Sentinels comp, it's all about delay onto the spike, and Narrate's movement at the end there, just staying alive. That was beautiful. That's all he needed to do. The WinCon was just not fighting, not going down. He plays to it, wastes the clock.
It starts with Artazine just getting too far forward at mid-doors. You know, I think it's pretty clear that Cortesia realizes there's no point overheating in that environment. But he can't make use of his lockdown late in the round.
Here.
This is a round that could be worth 2. Both teams struggling economically as Aspas picks up the operator.
And he's really cheating up here too.
Second one off of the dimensional drift, and around where John has the Armageddon, but it doesn't matter, he goes down.
So clever, he knew that the stealth drone would have lit him up, so he just repositions and waits for the inevitable peak. Zekin's been nullified in 2 consecutive rounds now.
Shannon from this position, Fire was able to shut down the Sentinels' advance, but not this time. Evened up 4 versus 4.
Bang's getting in the game now.
MIBR have rotated quickly, multiple players in secret to fight together and flank from Cortesia.
Remember, there's no Astra util available to MIBR here. The Armageddon comes in. Oh my goodness! And ultimately ends up getting gunned down anyway, but pretty sure that Gravwell will have done him in. And Artazine is bleeding out here. And Aspas has to try and retake with an op here through Flower. Not a favorable scenario for MIBR.
Artazine pop flashes out, but...
And then what?
Aspas isn't there. There's nothing to do off the back of it. Both flashes used, all for naught.
Remember, the economy here for MIBR, it's in tatters.
At this point, guys, you just have to save. Wasted too much time. No util to get through. It's a wrap. Aspas, he gets his, but who cares? He's lost the op. The economy is now totally broken for MIBR. That feels like a moment where maybe they're feeling the pressure. They're indecisive.
An inflection point, and it all opens up with Bang taking the duel against Xenom in A main, who takes the Astra out of the game, the one with all that util that could slow a plant down. That's a shot to the heart here for the defenders.
Excellent way for Sen to get into the site, though, with that Gravwell in tandem with the Armageddon over towards Secret.
Let's go.
The pressure from that, heavy for the defenders.
Damn, I mean, Cubit's probably had a pretty tough time with things. Somebody look out for... Yes, absolutely. Blink twice if you need saving.
Timeout called by Fraud for MIBR is a round like that could cause the game to slip completely out of their hands. They have so many ultimates to play with, but no money to assist. So this is going to be an eco round when we get back into things.
For MIBR to make it to Bangkok, it would have to be the second ever reverse sweep in a best of 5 in VCT Americas history. And then have to look stellar over the next 2 maps after this, which are split and bind respectively. It is an uphill battle.
Absolutely. This is an MIBR organization that in 2023, VCT, they went 3 wins, 8 losses. 2024, 4 wins, 11 losses. They've got 4 wins right now in 2025. They've already tied that. This is the best the MIBR organization has ever done. Aspas, you expect him to be here. He exudes greatness. But for the org, this is something they've never been able to achieve. Heartbreaking if it ends here. So close to making their first international event.
Who's next? That's the depth of competition in this league. Here's Zekin on the dimensional drift. We know what the numbers say about the rounds they win with that ultimate up. And he's going to emerge with the Bucky. And Artazine will be caught. Xenom, like a deer in the headlights. Flattened.
Better at killing players than the turret at range. There's one of the rifles.
Bro, he ain't moving. Cortesia, a belly full of shot. Zach in a belly full of fire to get Sen to yet another global event. Damage there through dugout onto Aspas. He's wallbang down to 40. And there's so much of this util here for Sen still available. You've got to save.
That was the only chance for Aspas to get a kill. Yeah, Nazwar, he needs to hold on to this rifle. He has 600 in the bank. Desperately needs that for the full buy round coming up next.
Aspas is pinged out by the Haunt. They know exactly where he is, and couple of extra bullets than otherwise were required there, but all good. All good.
And walls, they might be closing on Noswer. Push from Flowers and from the B side.
But comes at the right time. Noswer won't have a leg to stand on. That's one, and Zelsis, once again, the architect of MIBR's demise, not even allowed to keep that singular gun. No mercy, no quarter.
That kill could have a lot of weight into this one. Looking like a tough buy. Not the worst, actually. I mean, there is going to be the op for Ospas. Noswer just relegated to some poor armor, but can get a decent rifle. This is Samson from Zekin. I mean, this is, again, another dimensional drift use. Round 1 for SEN. Getting all of that information, presence towards B, immediate teleport into Art, gets the location of everyone on A where the actual hit is coming in. It's insane how much value you can extract from that ult when you have the right gate crash and game plan around it.
Every 4 rounds, just getting to have an I win button? Absurd. All right, Zelsis is pinged out by that. It is Aspas, glass cannon operator. The rest of MIBR, light armor only. Cortesia with a lockdown that we may never see used.
That first engagement, all right, at least traded out for MIBR. Dare I say, this is their final chance in this half to get back into the game, where SEN will have firmly ran away with this on the attack side. Ultimate still in play for the Brazilian side, who are double stacked over towards Art.
No A main presence here for SEN, though. They are plentiful in this part of the map, that A-link position. Genom does well, and he always has. But John eventually has his.
He is just good on the swings, playing off of Narrate's Prowler and then playing off of him for that trade when he goes down to get the man advantage secured by the IGL.
Retaking with a glass cannon operator. Noswer has to stop them here. It's hard to imagine Aspas gets value, and there's no guns, there's no rifles for him to pick up within his vicinity.
Noswer has the Hunter's Fury. Does he try to rattle that off right now off the recon? No, he just doesn't feel like it's the right timing.
Bang heads upstairs briefly, and there's Noswer down. Aspas, surely not. You can't go for this, right?
He has to. This round is just too important. Can he find the first?
No armor, operator. And I feel the wind picking up. Unreal! The human tornado clutches an unlikely round up for MIBR. A desperate round.
Must win for them. That was the economy on the line. Clutch 1v2. Aspas, he really hasn't been able to get into this series in a significant way. The team hasn't. But on this map right now, stepping up 8 for 3, clutching out the 1v2 with everything on the line, this half on the line. Now they've got a chance. They still have all the ults.
And they can still buy. Despite Aspas being the only player to exit the round, the win is enough to get MIBR in a position to match the arsenal of Sentinels.
And sometimes it just takes watching one of your teammates go off in that fashion to get the confidence surging back. I love this timeout right now, actually called from
I've seen the kicker much?
Yeah, that is the frozen kicker is what they're going for. This is a really great timeout call, especially, I mean, in addition to that, this is another opportunity for SEN to break MIBR's economy, and if it's going to be an explosive ultimate round, that might just completely dumpster the rest of this half for them if those are expended and they lose.
And the messaging probably isn't doom and gloom. You're up against Aspas. These rounds are going to happen every now and then. Everything else for Sentinels looks like it went right. They come off the back of a really successful dimensional drift round. By the way, Zekin is 2 orbs away from his next one. So we might see that as early as next round. But likely before the half, we'll get another one of those. Armageddon up for John. MIBR, though, in fairness, 4 ultimates up. Noswer was still holding on to that Hunter's Fury that he didn't opt to make use of in that 2 versus 2. Something to keep an eye on, for sure.
Cortesia is just praying he can find an opportunity to place this lockdown so he doesn't save it for the second half. It's going to be challenging, though. Aspas still with that operator posted up towards B. We've seen him try to play there before, and it's been the stealth drone from SEN that has forced him back in those instances. 1-3-1 from SEN to open this up.
Another cheat up here for Aspas.
SEN have really excelled at controlling Art in this game. It's allowed for these excellent split hits onto A, and that's where you're giving Narrate a lot of credit, controlling the map.
They've emphasized A main a lot less in this game compared to what we've seen in the past. Frankly, Genom's been stalwart in locking down that part of the map.
And right now, I'm just looking at MIBR's rotates because on the bottom left of the minimap, you just see Aspas is pushed all the way up into B main. The rest of the team, they've cheated towards A.
There's a massive hole in the setup there for MIBR, and it's kind of what Narrator's probing at the moment. Time elapses, and we have Nozwa and Artazine being dragged back to B.
Shenum, first engagement off the peak. No, runs to safety with the Nebula to cover his tracks.
Got that E-tool ready for Zekin. All right, Armageddon's going to force him into the site proper. Here's Zelsus taking Artazine down. That, of course, was an L command. Zekin dodging these Hunter's Fury shots. Nozwa hoping for much more off that, and a lot of ultimates already teased out of MIBR. Here's a lockdown. John does not have his salvo available right now.
Cortezia finally finds the timing, and there's only 20 seconds on the clock for Sen to get in, but the salvos are back.
And there it is. The lockdown ends up getting cleared effortlessly, but MIBR still have a presence inside the site here. Nozwa getting forward, but we are in a post plant.
Look at Aspas on the flank with the AWP.
Nozwa spotted out, pinged as well. Cortezia going to play close to see if he can at least trade that. Zelsus spotted. Here's Aspas getting involved now. Down to 2 and a second. Banger of a shot. Doesn't expect the third, though they never do. And there's Narrate and John stand tall. It's up to Cortezia. 1 paltry point of health. Won't get you far in this economy. And Sen post up another.
At the end of the day, again, it's just coming down to how effective this Sentinel's utility is at clearing the site, this space that they gain off of it. Even if that Armageddon, it didn't get a ton of value and actually getting any kills, but it forces the anchors into this awkward position in the site where they're then getting split on at Art at the same time.
Such a freebie there for Zelsus.
One enemy remaining.
And Narrate and John, just as that happens, pop off. John was the only player in the side at the time on a timer, on a clock, because Aspas was coming for him.
And Aspas, who was desperately trying to keep his team in this game, in this series. It's do or die on this map. They're down 0-2.
And here comes Sen. Clone goes forward, Gate crashes well into halls. Oh, he sticks it! And he wins it out. Better weapon wins. Artazine didn't really have a say in the matter. Second gets himself the Spectre, and he's also got the Dimensional Drift for round 12, which is where guns will be featured. Getting to 8 already would be ridiculous. Aspas gets over the sheer wall. He won't be anticipated. However, Zelsus is looking in that direction, and Bang also has been alerted. But he's hiding. Aspas now completely shut down. So much of this series, we've seen him be negated. Superstar that he is.
Just feels like the weight of the world is on his shoulders. In these situations, it's all coming down to him, his star power. But that just can't be enough against this Sentinels team that's firing on all cylinders. All of their players are having their moments today. The coordination with the utility is so much better than it's been in some of their prior matches. They are locked in. They want to run it back to the kickoff final, same as they did last year, 2024. Get to the first Masters as they did in 2024, try to win it.
MIBR are just being fed like kindling into the furnace that is Zelsus. Warming the rest of the Sentinels, raising the spirits.
Yes, Jordan, let's go. Give me more, give me more. Let's go.
I'm trying to get more out of Zelsus. I think he's given enough. He's given more than enough.
It's looking like a pruning. He squeezed him. 8-3 though. Another 9-3 half for Sen perhaps. Here's a Dimensional Drift.
Dimensional Drift. Can they make it 3 for 3 rounds 1 with this ult?
The Nova Pulse, I love it. Second emerges, but it's sent packing out of the round quickly. Aspas shuts a Dimensional Drift down. Zelsus, amidst that, was still able to find Artazine again. Another random pick-off through smoke, perhaps.
Cortezia is pushed all the way out of B right now. MIBR, they're content to stay stacked up towards A, though now they're feeling the pressure. Could there be a lurk coming from mid? They're giving up the site. Steel Garden ensures that. They have to back off.
And this will allow Sen actually to populate that link area. There's a sheer wall behind them that could well catch Cortezia, or slow him down at least.
Zelsus has this spike planted for both the main and Art, where they're stacked up again. Sen love playing multiple players from this angle.
More liquid metal filaments that he can poke a stick hack on the side.
I mean, this cosmic divide, hello? We just, they've thrown the round off the back of that.
I don't know how this supposed to work.
They have to get through it. It's on the wrong side.
Zelsus here might get busy. In fairness, it's a tap from Aspas. Zelsus sprays and Cortezia capitalizes. Narrate though trades. Zenom is down. In the smoke is Aspas. He finds yet another. We have a 2 versus 2. Nozma pushing forward, Bang's going to be holding his own, and now it's up to John QT. Time short, health low, and here he comes with a shorty! That is stunning! The Red Bull clutch for John, and SEN have another 9-3 half to hang their hat on.
I can't believe it even got that close. SEN are clutching out when it matters. John stepping up. He's played so much Taeho in this tournament, and when he's on that agent, has really excelled. He's displayed some of his best play in kickoff.
Bada bing, baby!
Great 1 versus 2. Time is just so low. MIBR hopeless in the end there. Dominant half from SEN again, looking to close this out. Make it to the first Masters tournament of the year. They're on the cusp of it.
There's always a sense like this is destined, like it's meant to happen. Another 6-round lead heading into the half of the third map of this series for Sentinels. Stick around, we'll be right back with the conclusion of Pearl and perhaps the series.
So I've got a bunch of different mice.
When you find the one, you know it's the one.
저는 이게 제일 좋은 것 같아요.
Look at this. Isn't this perfect?
누가 만들었는지 알려주는 것도 같이 들어있고.
This mouse is ready for a fashion show.
It's Pulsar by me.
It's by me.
It's Pulsar by you.
It's for you. Do you like it? Come on, Charlie. Use your new door. Come on, let's go. I said go. Let's go. Silly dog. I'm gonna trade you for a cat. Red Bull gives you wings.
The new Red Bull Zero is here. 100% wings with monk fruit extract.
Less than 24 hours after breaking his own record for the most kills in a VCT Americas best of 3, Aspas is desperately trying to lead his team from the front in what's been a losing battle for the 3rd consecutive map. It's another 9-3 half with Sentinels leading. Aspas leading the charge in fairness, but it's not been enough so far.
He's trying to do so much, win out these tough clutch situations, but you can see that he's being crushed by the world's weight. MIBR so far away at this point from converting this map win, continuing the series. This organization still yet to take a map off Sentinels in history. But it's an MIBR team that has never been this good. They have never made a run this deep. Can it continue? Or is SEN going to put the nail in the coffin?
It all starts with the pistol. And MIBR on this attack side have already gotten access to the A site. Bang though is tucked, waiting for his opportunity to emerge. Unaffected by these shock darts that are coming in from Nozma, trying to soften up the defender's position.
This SEN team, they are ready to explode back in off of all the utility they've got coming through Flowers right now.
Nozma spots them out, eventually goes low. Cortezia takes a hit, but he's still in fighting for Martazine, just trying to spam, but through the masonry, so many shots are coming into the site, and still no plant as of yet. John delayed it. Good fragment, that's a catch on John, and all of a sudden Artazine goes wild. Celsius has definitely seen better days, but at 0 point won't see any defenders in the vicinity. We have a plant.
That was the perfect pause from MIBR. They got that utility wave off, but they didn't lose too many players.
Haunt is dealt with. Cortezia doesn't even have to flinch. Celsius might have to play interference here for Neraces. A beautiful shot for the Killjoy player, who again may as well have been playing a blank agent this game. Celsius falls, Artazine finds 4. By the way, he was deep on the site, surrounded, just conjures 3 kills out of nowhere.
MIBR, they're not out of this quite yet. They still need to rally back. Lead so significant for SEN. Series lead, map lead. Well, this is a great way to start the second half. Wow. The most experienced of anyone on MIBR, their coach, Fraud. You have to be looking at someone like him who's been in esports competition for decades at this point to instill the ability to rally back in such a tough situation with this squad with rookies coming up from Brazilian challengers.
And you've got the old heads of Noswa and Aspas here, able to impart that wisdom. And Artezine has been through a baptism of fire in VCT Americas. We trot onto the site once more. The gamble falls flat for SEN, although random damage from John does keep Aspas honest.
Now, I'm just paying attention to the committal for MIBR. As far as their buy into this round, Aspas is hunting for more with 50 HP into the Phantom. Sure, he has Arts in its toe, but brother, you do not want to lose these guns.
I mean, Zelsis, his whiskers grow longer from that position. Yeah, come on, buddy. Can't make it that easy for you. Artezine has opted to linger here. He's made a decent amount of sound. Okay, he might lose his weapon. They're going to swing him en masse. Noswa wants to prevent this gun from being recovered, and he does.
I mean, wasteful to say the least. I don't see the purpose of Aspas hunting forward there. Yeah. I mean, I could see maybe you want Artezine to do so because he had gotten so many kills on the pistol that he's close to the null command, right? He's only one orb off right now, but my God, that was a risk being taken. They had me sweating bullets.
Yeah, he was so far ahead as well of Artezine. Fair enough.
All right, into this bonus round. It's not a pure bonus because of that. And MIBR, they want to force into it. They've got
the Outlaw is cheeky.
Some rifles across the board. Yeah, and the Outlaw against regen armor, that's a lot of one-shot potential for Zekken.
And there's that early Teho util that goes in the A main direction. Makes it hard for MIBR to post up there early. In fact, they're kind of confined to the middle of the map. They're going to make the best use of it they can.
Swift to insert Aspas into Link. Oh, potential tool against an array who opts to just retreat.
Hey.
1-for-1 trade offer. Molly for Razorvine. MIBR will take that.
Aspas is within striking distance. Look at the reposition here from Zekken.
Oh, I like this setup right now from MIBR. They have Aspas inserted, and he has that trip, the KJ behind him, watching for a potential push from Link. So he can focus forward, MIBR can pressure towards A, and they can pivot back to Aspas into a B hit after trying to drag rotates. If the site is vacant, they can just go for a full execute here and let Aspas backstab.
Noswa, though, might have to wait. Bang here. Copped. Oh, bang! Oh, that's a gun cheaply lost here for Sentinels. Taking their time, but
30 seconds left.
That null command is now active.
Now, what is the plan? That null command is selling for MIBR that they're trying to get into A.
They're pivoting back.
We have 20 seconds left. Okay, Aspas, he needed that kill and he finds it.
Tekken was not ready for it. Completely caught off guard. Intricate rotations here for MIBR. And in the dying seconds of the round, they are going to have this plant.
It's dangerous to let the clock dwindle so low against Sentinels running the comp that they had. It's so easy for them to deny spike plants and diffuses, right? So dangerous when you're at 10 seconds trying to stick it down on default, but a cool round nonetheless from MIBR.
John and Zelsis want none of it. This is a little bit dangerous here with Zenom embedded on this A site to further strip weapons away from Sentinels, who have hoped to have made the right choice here with this save. Artezine gets in there, John. Not ready, the timing, oh! That's gonna hurt in the morning, folks.
Brutality. All of the guns lost, economy broken for Sen. MIBR are genuinely back in this. And Artezine has stepped up.
It's a timeout if I've ever seen one, Wyatt. It's a very clean round, all things considered. And this is how you build back into the game. That lead has shrunk from 6 to 3. And a timeout has to be called here for Sen. They've been pretty average on this second half.
That was a really cool round from MIBR, top to bottom. And listen, it helps when Artezine is just getting a spam kill onto Bang, who is trying to spam back at him with the Guardian to get your first opening. Aside from that, though, he has stepped up. He has surged up the scoreboard. The one remaining member from MIBR last year, remaining for a reason, by the way. It was at the end of 2024 where he was the star of that team playing
As a Sentinel.
Yeah, top fragging, which is just a testament to how flexible he's been when he can pick up the duelist, pick up that raise on maps like Split. He's really been able to shine on that agent, plays the initiator as well, and IGLing. This guy's doing it all.
One of his first games of Kickoff last year, he was actually pitted against Aspas. And he had to play duelist in that setup. We realized that he wasn't quite comfortable enough to be trusted, I guess, to lead from that position. But man, he really matured over the year. And can kind of do it all at this point.
Sentinels out of the timeout. Kaplan wants them to go for an aggressive B look.
He looked exasperated.
You know, maybe off of the timing where that Nebula gets recalled for the attackers to cross. They might send in that Yoru flash. Maybe some of the utility from John as well. Yeah, and there it is. There's the flash when the smoke drops.
Might be over pushing on this though to get rid of Nosworth. Aspas doesn't feel safe sticking around to try and cover the weapon, so that will be handed over.
No, I mean, he just... Here's the trampling horde of the entire SEN team, and it is time to run to A and get the free site. Gets all the info, doesn't need to fight there. Only worry, I suppose, is really just that Zelsis has one rifle, but MIBR, on all accounts, should be closing this round out.
That aside, a fair bit to work with here, Sen, in terms of util. Probably hope here to try and keep a lid on MIBR's economy if they're going to be getting out ahead, but they're already in a pretty safe spot in that regard.
I mean, this could be dangerous. He has no help here. Gets one, okay, gets two.
John's picked up the rifle, but Sen had no opportunity to make use of it in that encounter, and Zen just right in between them. Nerves of steel. Eventually, Bang brings him down. Sisterhood of the Traveling Vandal, apparently.
Some beautiful shots.
Blocking vision.
From a player that was displaying a high level in challengers.
Here comes Artazine.
In Brazil last year, and Bang, will he be saving this? It's gonna
nope.
Close, nope. Rest in peace.
Regardless,
with
gun round here
another.
for Sen. Some things we haven't seen this half-dimensional drift. A Sentinels round win. But crucially, the former getting pretty close to being online. We've seen Sentinels, like they've made aggressive use of that Steel Garden on Abyss, which was really interesting to see. Tried to make use of that window.
I do like the idea out of the timeout from Kaplan, but obviously, regardless of the plan, they are just on that bad buy.
Yep.
This is where it really matters, though. They've invested into an operator for second to lock down B, and matter of fact, it's two of the best duelists in the world going head-to-head.
Oh, the Aljo. So annoying. Yep. Pushes Zekin off the line entirely. He'll repost here by Halls, but Aspas knows exactly where to look, and he punishes the shoulder peek. Zekin has been a non-factor so far on this defense side.
Maybe taking a page out of the G2 strat book, running some of that attack op look.
All right, Zelsis. Look at all the players here for Sen.
I mean, it's 3 rotations dragged
Yep.
over here. John needs to re-clear Link. They have negative information for this area of the map. All right, gets a little bit back.
I mean, the one upside is that MIBR have been pretty slow about this scaling into A main. It's going to buy enough time for John at least to get in position and also be able to use that salvo to waylay the attackers further.
Does Bang try and make an effort to actually anchor this site, though, or does he just have to retreat? There's going to be a recon going back site that'll spot him out in the 0 point. Okay, dodges the recon by playing in the smoke.
Yeah, he gets his smokes up just in time. Now he can play inside of them. Oh, I love this from Bang. Getting in the connector. John in position. Aspas had a chalk outline drawn of him. And here come the cavalry, folks. John eventually able to bring Nosworth down. Aspas is low in that position. The plant seems like a bit of a stretch goal at this point. John in the corner, he's safe. Here come the salvos. Cortesia about to get churned into meat.
Sanos, again, just going to excel in these situations where the clock is getting too low. MIBR needed to hit the gas in the mid-round, but they slowed down, taking A main, and Bang really plays that anchoring position to perfection. He gets that first kill, but it's the getting inside the smoke, dodging the recon, staying alive, and allowing the rest of the team to flood back in with that util tsunami that they've got in their hands. It's just so powerful.
Spike planted. One enemy
A situation
remaining.
like that is just nightmare for the absolute nightmare for the attackers. getting the spike down when the Teo has the missile and there's a seize.
Get me the old
Come
boys.
on.
Okay. Important round for Sen to win. It's been a bit of a drought. First round of this half, and an MIBR call a bit of late timeout here. Probably trying to figure out if it's worth constructing a strategy around some of their ultimates. They know they're going to be playing against the second operator this round, which has had a tougher time on B Long. Again, it just takes an Aldro to push him off that line. We saw him shoulder peek from Halls, get picked up by Arspas in that last round. A terrible start, and Sen were able to rely on John QT, who shot to the top of the scoreboard here to bail them out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're MIBR, you'd love to be able to use this Cosmic Divide to get one of those free plants on B and just play the long spam angles. But then, yeah, you have to worry about Zekins off on that side of the map. Maybe Noswar can get the tag with the drone, and that'll force him off the line. And he could Hunter's Fury straight into that on him, just try and get an opening pick. Something like that may work, and then you get that Cosmic Divide down, try and get the free plant. But then you have those additional worries in the post plant. If you're on B, or Sen, they have an Armageddon that basically stretches across the entirety of B Long. And then if you're fighting site, Zelsis has a Steel Garden. So there's a lot of potential for counterplay from the Sen ultimates here as well.
Back to Pearl we go, folks. Round 18 on the docket. And it's a 3-round game. After a 9-6 half, MIBR have got to be happy at least with the progress they've made. You laid out the blueprint for this round. Why for MIBR? Let's see if it comes to fruition. It's Zenon with the operator instead of Aspas.
But Second is posted up towards mid. They've left to be in the hands of Zelsis and his array of Sentinel utility. I mean, Zekin is hearing a whole lot of audio cues at the moment, but no one is actually facing into him. It's MIBR just slowly contacting, taking space over towards B Long.
Zekin's able to obviously get back here now. Oh, an early shot there would have been quite something. Now that the Cosmic Divide is going to make it pretty hard for him to operate. Razorvine's here in theory to buy a little bit of space. Zekin is able to fall back, but it's not a powerful position he finds himself in here. Steel Garden for a retake, though. Armageddon also up for John.
Right, so they have that Steel Garden to fire off close, take the gun away from Aspas, for instance, and then have the Armageddon for B Long. This is the danger of the ultimate. So they actually just committed all to Halls, and the Hunter's Fury rings out from Noswar.
Okay, this off for Zelsis is crucial now. The long line up B Long. He needs to work that as much as possible. Sen have to reach, and there's Cortesia actually taking Zelsis down with a Nano Swarm. 3 up for Sen. Sees. Doesn't really bother Cortesia because he's swinging that line anyway. Nova Pulse, Gravwell, Kitchen Sink. It's all been deployed here, and now a firing squad faces MIBR. Shenom with 50 points of health. Aspas knows he's critical in this scenario, and they find one each. It's all too much for Bang, who is riddled with bullets.
He tried his best, but that's just too easy for MIBR with the plant position, misguided, frankly, from Sentinels to commit the Armageddon back Halls. Unlikely that MIBR are going to be wanting to play close when you have that Steel Garden. Could have gotten so much more value in long, but that's not where they use it. MIBR are able to play those post-plant positions that they intended on playing out of the timeout. Get the easy spam onto the spike, and when you have all the stars set to concuss, the grapple to further delay, it's just perfect. Fraud's game plan working exactly as intended, and it's got Sentinels on a buy that's looking rough with the economy on the line.
Okay, Zekin. Dimensional Drift available here for maybe later in the round, but takes a fair bit of damage. That early posting has not worked out for him at all on his defense side, but how about that classy stuff?
What a tap.
Balls back to the pillar. Aspas will challenge. And one is all Zekin is going to get this time.
Zelsis has had to retreat, forced to get out of there into Link. John wants to get some info with this stealth drone. It does get broken, so no one's suppressed. And Cortesia is on this flank. This time he could determine the winner of the round.
Here's the Nightfall. Cortesia emerges and Narrate is taken down. Still loses the ultimate. He does at least get that off. Zelsis is about to get pretty busy. That Nanoswarm would have made him dance. He clears it. But Noswar knows it takes 2 to tango. John can get a better weapon here. Gonna have to cross! And Zenom is waiting for him.
Shut him up, is looking pretty clean. What I love about the timing that MIBR took there with Cortesia's flank into the concuss from Shenom in Link is that it allowed the rest of the team to push forward with that crossfire broken, with the Link players forced to pay attention to Cortesia up here. Lovely from MIBR.
And that 6-round lead for Sentinels has now shrunk to 1. Pretty wild from MIBR. They've won 6 out of the last 7 rounds.
And bear in mind, that was Sentinels forcing into it with just a Stinger, a Bulldog, not ideal weaponry. They lose, the economy's broken, that round should be worth 2.
Well, this map is about to get real interesting, Wyatt. Again, the Taeho util means an orb for Sentinels. John, one step closer to another Armageddon.
Yeah, they really want to prioritize that ultimate, it seems. And I mean, typically you would want to prioritize the dimensional drift, but Zekken already has it, so.
Just no great opportunity to make use of it in the previous round. He was pinned on site, and Aspas came knocking. When the king knocks, you open the door.
We've gone back to this slow play around the operator, which at this point you have to imagine Sen will not be playing into. More passively, not going for those risky jump peaks.
A big drift here. Quite the migration from MIBR.
Zels is on the re-clear. This timing, he hears the reload. He's going to go for it, but he whiffs. Okay, never mind.
Not going to get away with that one, though. Sheer audacity at least allows this to be a 4 versus 4. That Astra util's going to be a little bit too slow on A, and I think Bang knows that he recalls one of them. Here comes a clone. Artisan here, ready for it, though. Firing squad faces him. It's a 1-for-1. Weapon, though, unrecoverable right now. Sen's trying to get forward, and Zekken would love the upgrade. He does get across, flashed out as he was. And Nozra is just too clean with it. Pure composure. Now we've got a game.
For the first time in this series, MIBR keeping the game close, running it back on this attack side. They've only dropped 1 round so far. And this one could get them over the finish line. This might be another round war 2 that we're going to get into. They've got a lot of ultimates to play with, or at least on the cusp of a lot of ultimates.
Clean finish there for Nozma. Bit of a tech pause down on the stage. It's a mild audio issue that will get some attention. You can usually tell us Aspas and Ko are heavily reclined, and I think it's catching on. Cortesia is also punching out some Z's there.
He really has started that trend. I mean, he started it a long time ago. I mean, when you see the arguable or non-arguable best player in the world chilling in every tech timeout, you're trying to get like him. I do that while I'm getting farmed and ranked.
You are not the same. Pretty sure it's JDM that started this, but that's fine. Just an in-ear issue that was resolved pretty quickly. So we are a couple moments from heading back into round number 21. Folks, it is an even game. If you've missed this series, it's been all Sentinels so far. And MIBR, though, have come alive at just the right time. At the least to stay alive.
MIBR intending on heading towards B right now. Recon to clear close in case out of the timeout. Sentinels are going for something proactive on that side of the map. And now we've got the null command. It's a split through link. And this is dangerous. Zelsis, not playing around the null command, has all of his util turned off.
Yeah, that's just completely useless for him now, and Aspas is going to make things even worse. In with the Blade Storm he goes. Notes, though, that Pulse is clear. And much of that Astra util is going to lock Sen out of the sight. Zekken has a dimensional drift. Remember, this is Sen with a half buy or no buy in the previous round, have invested in this one. Already, they're on the back foot.
And there are a few MIBR players 1 kill away from having an ultimate in this post plan as well.
Another for Aspas. Zelsis just is treated out into the open, apparently. Has to step over this Taeho util and will survive it. Zekken behind enemy lines.
And it's just time to save. They have no choice but to do so with the economy in such a dire position. And that is an error that will frustrate Kaplan out of the timeout. He's squeezing the cube real tight, the stress cube, because Zels is just playing over on the site against the null command where he has all of his util. He just can't be doing that.
And maybe that's just something they overlooked. Oh, Cortesia, they overlooked this as well. Narrate does have the line. It will be brought down. For MIBR, it's easy come, easy go for these guns. Happy to wrest some more of them out of Sen's hands.
It's far more important to take them out of Sen's hands, excuse me. MIBR's economy is good enough to just keep buying up over and over.
Yeah, I mean, why bother clearing that util, Aspas? It is completely pointless.
I mean, Osboss just chilling as always. No
Much to
reaction
say.
to anything. He's just a chill guy.
Here we have the one-round lead now for MIBR. For one of the first times this whole series have managed to get ahead. Still, Senna working with weaponry.
That haunt over the top is nice. Spots out 2. Zekken wants to get right back onto this orb. Far away from the dimensional drift. Maybe a dream that he can get it in the rest of this game, but wants to try and succeed with that.
He doesn't fancy hanging around at all. Some of the spam was already coming through that box, so he opts for the discreet route. And here's a lockdown. Once again, outside of the timing of John. He won't be able to clear this with ease. They actually just have to give up the side entirely.
Yeah, they're forced out. Look at the rotate right now. All of
They're out.
Sentinels.
They've sold it. They could sell ice to an Inuit.
MIBR have gotten away with it. They're delayed by this wall, though.
It's 7 seconds. That's not a small amount of time.
SEN, they are here. Are they going to try to flood back in? John's utility is cycled. He has the missiles to try and stop this plant. Do they hit the gas? Do they accelerate right now?
This is by no means guaranteed here for MIBR. It's about to get dicey. Cortesia inside the smoke flash. Oh, it was a clone the whole time. Here comes the Teho Util over in the Hall's direction. A recon to light the site, but nobody from Sen has actually committed quite yet. They've got to go for it soon, though. Tucked in the corner is Cortesia. Aspas with his crossfire. Here they come. John QT not able to check to the Hall's direction. Banger to make it a 1-for-1. He gets in there. Shenom Do strikes with the op. And it's up to the operator player. Shenom can be in this post-plant position. And it's all on Zekken to save the day. Gravwell comes out. Shenom to get the team to 12. Oh, this Astro Util can't be denied. And MIBR, one step from finally getting a map win in this best of 5.
Hard as hell to get value out of the lockdown against Sentinels with the Teho, but they get the most. All 5 players rotating to try and flood back into A when the supposed hit would be coming in. They bought what MIBR were selling. The Brazilians get the free side. Cortesia, he's out of his seat. And it's the rookie Shenom who is stepping up under the pressure right now.
MIBR are looking like something else. Sen at least able to buy some rifles, but most down to that half armor.
You are divided.
And here is a cosmic divide off MIBR. It's going to get them into B. Celsius might be critical here.
He doesn't get caught by the 0 point, so they must know to check this.
The seconds tick away as Celsius knows this has to be his moment. There goes the spike, it's loose. Some of that util not coming out. Oh, the Steel Garden as well. Still going to be caught out by Nozwa. Hunter's Fury finds its mark, but the spike is deep in enemy territory.
Yeah, that arc rose from Celsius, fully blinding up Artson on the swing.
MIBR end up just rushing hard into this site that is typically canvassed with Vice Util. No way to shut it down either. Now it is a full rescue mission for the spike.
And you slowly have Zekken on the flank. That trip not active.
There's so much stall util in this Sentinel comp. And yeah, there goes Nozwa! Zekken will end the round here and keep it close. Now overtime is well and truly on the table.
Look at the status of the ultimates for Sen. They're going to want to play for the orbs in this next round. I think MIBR really overlooked that position. The 0 point didn't clear it. They didn't have enough players scaling out of that nebula with Artzine. Things got very disconnected for them. And now the pressure is on as
this main fight.
1 away from the dimensional drift. John is 1 away from Armageddon. They're going to play to that as a win con. MIBR, are they ready for that though? They want to fight it. Oh my God, Ospas just passed the salvos.
He knows how doggedly Sen might have looked to fight for the orb. So he disrespects and gets ahead of that Teho Util. It's not enough to shake him.
Now, he did have to use his dash to get there, but well worth it to have this full control of A main. Cortesia sidesteps the Prowler that was sent out from Narrate.
I think Connector is one of the most important parts of the map here, as well as that art hold.
Sen are trying to use a lot of this information gathering util from their initiators just to try and stabilize at this moment, because there's been that heavy MIBR pressure towards A main. Oh, this timing.
Ships in the night. Zekken, is he on this line adequately? He can't get away. A mortal blow already struck to Sen, who are digging their claws in. John here trying to keep it locked down, but Narrate is caught. Artesine strides out onto the site. Brimming with braggadocio.
Still for John, if he can get one here, he could get the Armageddon active to drag Sen into overtime. He has to find a kill.
Bought a little bit of time, John has, and now the Cosmic Divide comes down. This surely furrows the brow of MIBR. They're down to 2. It's Nozwa and Shenom. Banks has found Aspas out of God knows where. And now they need to challenge this wall into what looks like a crossfire. Everything hangs on this moment here for Sen if they want to stay in this map. Nozwa unsure where to set himself up. That wall's about to come down, but the Nebula will obscure his vision.
And they have to deal with Shannon Stars still late right now trying to defuse. Recon for Nozwa too.
It's got to be tough. They still haven't really got a touch in there, Shannon. Okay, the Astra's down. The Stars now no longer an issue. Nozwa has to step up and do it himself. Celsius halves it. And the rest.
He's
John
around the
keeps him
corner.
busy. John shuts him down. And you better believe there's an overtime on the dockets.
Recovering that from a severe man disadvantage are Sentinels. Heartbreaking for MIBR, who stormed back into that half. They had gotten 9 rounds to Sen's 1. 2 chances to close it out and keep the series going, but their hopes may just be dashed.
The plot thickens. That is a wild round. So much tension playing around that Cosmic Divide. Shannon maybe just stepping too far.
MIBR really getting punished there for trying to go for the aggressive play, pushing through that Cosmic Divide.
Now this is good watching.
All right, MIBR, they're starting on defense, and definitely take note of Aspas here. Glass Cannon operator pushed up towards B. And in the meantime, the other MIBR players, 2 of them getting space in A. They've got main control.
Sentinels playing for a push-up here. Zekin's going to follow the drone in. Clears the alarm bot.
We saw this same play in regular time.
Jump peek there, trying to tease Cortesia out into the sunlight.
The difficulty for Sentinels now is re-clearing A main. When they went for this play in regular time, it was Shenom who was able to get a couple kills there, and now he has a teammate. Artesian is ready to play off of him.
Fade util may help Sen open this up. But you're right, it's pretty scary. Shenon has been spectacular.
He's breaking all of this util so they don't suspect Artesian playing with the pop flash ready.
He's not shown himself at all. Sees even committed. Okay, Artesian.
They are certain.
They don't know he's going to be there. They're not ready for it, surely! 1 for 1, Narrate walks away, barely. And on the side, Nozma now is going to get some attention. He's forced back, special delivery, stops short. Zekin was really hoping that the clone would have drawn Nozma out, but he's too canny for that. Gate crash used, he gets across now, Nozwa. The net's starting to close, he's down to 2, but Shenom's still in A main. Eventually gets the better of the low health Narrate. 2 versus 4, long odds for Sen City. Nozwa with a shock around the corner. Nova Pulse, Zelsus has to try and keep him alive. At least the parts here, and Nozwa falls.
Okay, he's getting ahead of himself. He could have been a bit more patient. Maybe that's the opening Sen need.
There it is. Eventually, MIBR go in for the kill shot.
It really comes down to that presence in A main. Artesian just tanking 17 different utility pieces coming his way, but it's Shenom just breaking all of them so he can stay tucked in that position. I mean, it's surprising they didn't get both kills, honestly. The shots went a little bit amiss, but still, this moment was pivotal for MIBR. And Oz were reading that teleport from Zekin as not being a fake gate crash, but actually holding the angle, getting that kill while on low HP. So little micro moments that were of the just utmost importance for MIBR.
So Sentinels timeout here. Let's go for a wellness check on Coach Kaplan.
And a wellness check on the Q-Bird.
Yeah, and that too.
The stress, you can feel it. The tension is high for both of these teams.
Shenom has been a big problem in A main. Sentinels get a 2v2 set up, and honestly, I thought Artesian was going to unravel them. It seemed clear that they didn't know he was hiding behind that box with a pop flash ready. They actually get past that particular hurdle and end up making it close. Zekin takes a lot of space getting through Art into connector.
Listen, MIBR, they have to be feeling good that they started off with a win on defense. This has been a game all about attacking halves. They're now going to the side where they won initially 9 rounds when Sen only had 1 until they dragged it back at the very end to get to OT.
Yeah, take pause off the back of this. Just a gear issue. Being ironed out. Cut the air with a knife here. Some of those MIBR round wins really sucking the air out of the room as they've clambered back into this game. And you got to wonder what the call is now with Sentinels on this defense side. Something that just hasn't worked out in this map at all really has been the Zekken holding a passive angle on the B side of the map with Operator. So I don't expect to see him go glass cannon here at all. Just an in-ear issue here for young Zekken.
Just getting his gears situated, but man, the pressure on this MIBR team now to continue this series. Osboss is no stranger to playing lengthy best of fives. If you think back to his days on Loud.
Leviathan had them last year domestically too. When G2 Lev went the distance for his last year in a playoff game. Yeah, he's been there. This time though, he got to handpick the players in the game with him.
Yeah, MIBR, they have just decided to give him the keys to the castle, put together his own roster. Artson retained from last season. His best little buddy Noswar that he didn't get to play with in 2024, and then a couple upcoming stars from challengers in Brazil, and they've made it all the way here to the lower final.
Something about Noswar as a caller is that in his time in that role, he's so calm and collected. You hear furious comms with him on that roster in the past, and so low energy, so crucial, intense moments like this. I wonder if that's having an impact now with Artezine at the helm of the calling.
It might be they're intending on getting this early space on B, where Zekken has been a presence on the majority of the rounds. That drone is going to clear out any of the close angles, and let's see, wow, great connection, 0 point on to Zelsis. That's going to reveal the Razor Vine, so they are able to break one of those for free. That's fantastic.
Zelsis is trying though to flip the script here and play in that anti-flash corner.
He's in the jaw spot position. He's in the jaw spot.
I mean, MIBR happy with that trade and to allow these smokes now to elapse. The Vice util is gone. It's just an Arc Rose watching connector.
In the meantime, John did send out that stealth drone and cleared out a lot of art. Look at how passive this is from Sen. Look at the shear. It's all the way in sewer. I mean, they have given up a lot of the map here. When this hit comes in, do Zelsis and Zekken opt to fight? Here come the players from Link from MIBR as well. Recon in.
All right, that fragment clearly not bothering Zelsis. That's one. Getting amongst the smokes here. Goes a little bit low, Shorty out, and Nos was able to dig him from that position. Aspas onto the site now. Looking dangerous. It's only Zekken that's over by Halls, and he finds his one. And it means everything. Chen, I'm not really sure where to shoot right now. Bang's able to get involved, and it's just down to the young gun. 23 and 13. He's been fire.
10 seconds left.
He's got the spike too. But this is a tall order. Bang and Zekken are circling. The taste of blood in the water, and no time left to get the plant. That'll be the round. Sentinels even it up.
Time just too low. Tenon was hoping he could bait out some swings and just win this game by virtue of killing both players in that situation. He's up to 24 kills right now on the map. A crucial reason why MIBR have been able to turn this around on their attacks. What is that? Just one tap through? That is so obscene.
Poor close one though. Big timeout called before that round for Sentinels. The order clearly to play passive and really not get picked off early. And they were fortunate. They had all that Vice util cleared so early and still were able to hold it down.
Again, MIBR, they're leaning into this operator from Osboss in OT on defense. This time no positioned in art. This is different from the looks they've had before. And then you've got Cortesia at the box ready to swing off of him if some pressure comes into that area of the map from Sen. And it looks like it just might.
Yeah, they really are looking to step up and apply a chokehold to the map. Okay, play off the drone, ignored. Aspasto can't quite find the shot. The idea was there, but there's no backup for Cortesia.
At least gets that trade. That was crucial from Aspas.
Patejo util tries to lock him in, but he again walks over it. So Zekken for Cortesia traded.
And in the meantime, Shenham, he's towards A main again. He is feeling the pressure from both sides.
What's this Link setup going to look like? Shenham might actually look to push this. Bang, head first! Into the breach he goes. Another 1-for-1, but Aspas saw John coming from A main. Operator ready to work. Tailwind to put him back in a safer spot towards dugout.
That's a great reposition from Aspas. He can wait for his teammates. Oh my god, shot so close to Zelsis.
Gives his spot away though. Sen know he's there, but it's a player advantage now for MIBR, and there's someone on the ramp.
Yeah, Artsine is flanking through Art. He's going to get triggered by the wall though when he goes through.
Bang, almost ready for it. Aspas making noise, and the Archeros will keep him honest there. Jump peeking. And there's Artisine, gotta win that one, and he does. It's up to Zelsis, and he's going hunting. He's gonna take this into his own hands. Aspas misses the shot. Steel gun, active. Shot, he goes to walk. Aspas shuts him down. You better get up early if you're gonna come with the king like that.
You can't be winning the OT rounds like this. You can't be going to another map. That's about the most reaction you're ever gonna get out of the GOAT.
At least he got a smile.
The wry little smile after getting, was it the 4-piece with the knife? These operator trades, initially that one, they got it for Cortesia. That's a headshot at that. Look at Zelsis, the reaction to that.
And he's talked about it.
That's V1 Zelsis.
Yes.
That's the old Zelsis.
He's talked about it. He said
oh
that
my god.
There was a time where he often allowed those negative feelings to spill forth. And he just hated feeling that way. And over time, that side of him became tempered. But in moments like that,
oh my god.
Once again, the anger drawn out. Happens to the best. See it happen to a bunch of pro players. But he's the one that normally keeps this team level on an even keel. He has to collect himself, and quick.
He was the addition to this team that turned them around last year. Not that the roster was bad, but it was like missing something in the recipe. And when he came in, that's when they became a world beater. That's when they won Kickoff last year out of their great offseason performances. And then win Masters Madrid. Take Sentinels back to the top where we were used to seeing them for the first couple years of Valorant. We'll see if he can rally back. He has been the star of this series for Sen. The unlikely hero when you look at the firepower they have on the roster. He's at the top of the board again right now for them.
But is this too much to carry? How much longer can Zelsis be relied on?
I mean,
not only be the emotional leader, but the fragger in game.
I was expecting this to be the battle of Zekin and Aspas, these two duelists that have had to step up and be absolute lights-out stars for their teams to get into this lower bracket final, but it is Zelsis who has picked up the mantle of the top fragger for this Sen team.
Kaplan saw his emotional leader lose his cool there, so I'm sure a couple of choice words shared in that timeout. MIBR still on map point. Finger by finger, Sen's grip on this game has been loosened.
He gets the spot onto Aspas, just jump peeking there. That would have been dangerous in regular time when MIBR were running the op on attack, but in OT, they don't want to take that risk. 5 rifles for them.
Sheer wall does get tripped. Some A-main presence here, but no real commitment just yet. Zekin is waiting though, he hears this. The siege comes in, Zekin takes his powder flash and backs out. Stops the plant at least. Flash out of the smoke, here comes Zekin, and he's angry! Aspas and Nos are the last two to work with, but the spike is virtually in the next postcode. Somehow Sen have put themselves in a position again to reset this overtime. Nozzle though has a word. Zelsis maybe overcooks just a little.
Yeah, that was a good re-swing from Nas, where they have 30 seconds to play with, but the repositioning from Zekin should seal this round up for Sen. Keep OT going. These crossfires are great.
And obviously no reason to save. You may as well go for it. There's the clone. Aspas knows better. Salvo splits Aspas, and Nos were up. A chance for them, though, to reconvene here. 13 seconds. Cloudburst. Spike recovered. Aspas spammed down through with it. Zekin for 4. Nosra on his own, and Narrate will close the book on it. Again, we're running it back for a 29th round here on Pearl.
Nos were just not expecting that silent rotate from Narrate into default to close the round out, but it's all Zekin. Come on. Just running around the site on the Yoru, was playing in the smoke close up to deny the plant. This common spot that MIBR have really been going for on these A-side hits.
And where Zelsis faltered, it's Zekin who steps up.
Oh, him slipping away and then the confidence to just re-flash right back in as his teammates are spilling into back site to assist. Beautiful.
It's giving flow state, Wyatt.
He is activating Aspas again. Glass cannon operator in OT, 3 rounds in a row.
This spot didn't work out for Zekin on the other side. Aspas has a way about him.
Sen there taking all of this space while the Nebula is up. get close. Get ready to explode onto the site with all of your utility.
They forced him out, and he still takes the shot. Second is down. Aspas very low, but Nosso's going to be here to support him. One by one, Sen step up. One by one, they're knocked down. It's on Zelsis again in the 1 versus 3. Aspas low enough to be spammed down here. The Arc Rose connects. And once again, advantage MIBR.
The game is just going long enough for Aspas to get another casual 30 bomb. 30 for 15. You gotta think about this guy is just being the GOAT. He is unreal. The pressure he's feeling back halls from all of this Taeho utility.
They line up for him though, don't they? Just before the Taeho util hits, he takes the shot that stops him in their tracks.
The way he maneuvered around all of that and then able to get the second onto the player default. Come on. MIBR have been really good on these defensive rounds. It's completely flipped from regular time. Now they just can't win on attack. Opportunity to close it out again.
Another chance just to string 2 together. Second. That's uncharacteristic from him.
That's a great way to start. They have a main control as well. Do they want to just get into the site? SEN are trying to rotate quickly. You can see 3 of their players here. They're ready to anchor this.
Aspas quick about it. Some time board here, though, with that salvo.
Oh, that was dangerous for Bang. Aspas had the angle, but whiffed the shot.
Yeah, but now I think he knows Aspas is up in that box, so won't chance it again, surely. Both players exchange shots, some wallbang damage traded.
And now could definitely expect that MIBR that will want to slow this down, cut noise in the mid-round, try and get one of these SEN players at least to go back towards B. But Zelsis having the wall in link that trip is giving some great passive info to the rest of the team.
John Salvo's back in about 10 seconds here.
Even at that, look at John. He has to pick up the sewer angle because someone from MIBR could be flanking there, but they are all ready to get into the site together.
John can still stop this with his Taeho util. The 0 point didn't connect on him, and frankly, MIBR are taking a sweet time. There it is. MIBR know it's coming, and now they're going to be ready to go for what has to be a real plant. They've got to go for it. Sees, catches no one. Nosma steps up, gives it a tap, and Bang trying to stay safe while getting some spray here. More Astra util. Nosma though is able to... No, he doesn't stick it. Okay, there still needs to be a plant here at some point. Zelsis now activates, spraying it down. Where's the plant coming from? It's Artazine. Taps it again, but it's Cortesia falling. How have they done it again?
It was all looking so good for MIBR. They slowed the game down. They threw out all of the utility from SEN. And out of nowhere, it's Bang just getting back into dugout. The spam line denies the plant when it needed to go down. And you could see the second the spike was dropped back on the ground here, Nas were going down. The chaos set in. The team was scrambled. And SEN ensnared them from all sides.
And you've got to feel like they played into Sentinels' hands and composition with how they've gone about that round. All this stall, util to stop a plant. Okay, round 31 it is, folks.
And again, MIBR back to the well. They've got the AWP in the hands of Aspas. Every OT round pressed up towards B.
I mean, Zelsa should be intimately familiar with what to expect on this part of the map right now. And he gives him nothing.
Off that recon, Aspas wanted to get on the deeper line, but he's still going to play it a bit more safe towards Pillar, where that dash can get him to sight if necessary, but looks like he just wants to fall off entirely. And in the meantime, opposite side of the map, Hardzin controlling A, an area of the map where defensively MIBR has really excelled.
50 seconds. SEN here now starting to tentatively work their way towards Art. And they've just seen the alarm bot. Yeah, be killed off as Cortesia gets away from the action, but he does so in order to find a kill. Aspas, he's always good for one.
It's insane that he even gets one there.
SEN have struggled so much to get themselves to advantage point.
Hardzin is still retaining this A main control. The retake is going to come in from so many different angles.
Oh, with John going down there, this is dangerous. 3 different angles a retake could emerge from. SEN have to have eyes in the back of their head. 8 arms. And a 6 sets for the game. It's just too much to ask from Bang. He's surrounded. Perfect collapse. And Second has to do it all now. Shenum replaces the star. That's a shot on the diffuser. Shenum low. Second so close. Tries to ride the lightning.
Oh my god.
But Cortesia will walk away unscathed. And once again, MIBR threatened to end the map.
The control of the map in that round was fantastic. Suddenly the defensive side has just been perfect after being slaughtered in regular time. I still don't know how Aspas is just allowed to get a kill. He faced into 3 players and he has,
a couple times.
He 1v3 has faster reactions than all of them.
It's safe to say at this point, folks, we have departed from reality.
If this series keeps going, I'm gonna need a lot of tea and honey. This is gonna blow my voice out, man. This is getting pretty crazy on map 3. SEN looked like they were in complete control of the series, and look, realistically, they still are having 1-2 maps, but MIBR, they're on the cusp of coming back. They have another shot at winning this out. They just haven't been able to close it out in OT yet. They keep winning these defensive rounds. They just need one on attack.
Celsius gets a bit of information here about this mid-door setup, and there's the wall. This will be traversed slowly at that, buying enough time for the drift over of Zekin.
Cortezia places the alarm bot, but it looks like
they're going to go ahead of it.
They want to push through anyhow.
Zekin might be tipped off to this a little bit.
He is watching the sewer angle pretty passively.
A lot of this util though on this site ready. I really think the 0 point from Artazine has to hit onto Zelsis if they're going that way.
One suppressed.
Well, they spot out the KJ. That's not the greatest info imaginable, as Artazine is throwing the 0 point towards A, which is showing, you know, some more significant presence to Sentinels as to where they want to rotate.
Oh, the Vice Utilo's moved though. The shock dart doesn't pick it up, and that can now be deployed. Yes, this buys a bunch of time for Sentinels. Zelsis looking healthy enough now, and there's John comes in after the clone. MIBR are down to 3. John found 3 in the round, and he's not done yet. Hunter Nozwa and Shenom once more.
He's gotten the Armageddon from all these kills.
There's just no time left, and this surely has to seal it with Nozwa falling. Shenom has to pull a proverbial white rabbit from the hat. And how about some more Valorant, folks? You okay with that?
The anchoring from John is just too strong there. He's going to give those moments of individual brilliance when required.
Playing off the clone as well. And crucially, there's a 0 point that goes over to A, so Zelsis doesn't get shut down. That util can still be used, and he moves it. There's a shock dart from Nozwa that goes to where the Razorvine was. It doesn't hit any of it, so he gets to slow things down.
And at what point for MIBR does the frustration set in that you've had all of these opportunities to close the game out, but you just can't cross the finish line against this Sentinels team that are finding moments of individual brilliance in OT? John, Zekin, stepping up when required.
At what point does the frustration force you into a mistake? Okay, there goes the clone. This is chaos here. Artazine, which is just hanging out in the open. Oh, Shenom, it's an easy pickup for Narrate as well. And Cortesia now is going to feel the pressure. Forced back by the Prowler. A side of the map completely covered by SEN.
And that might just be the moment you're describing, Artazine, just trying to do too much, wanting to fight too aggressively, and it's put his team at a 3-5 disadvantage. SEN should be able to trade this out and win. One more kill for John. Armageddon again, by the way, in an OT round.
Aspas has stepped up here. Gonna swing for the fences. Second plucked out of the mix. Still 4 for SEN to work with, and John is very quickly getting back into this game. My goodness, he's been instrumental. Armageddon, anybody? Nos was able to dodge around it though. SEN need to cool it off. Still a player advantage. Aspas having a retake with an op at low health, and now Nozwa will be interrupted. Here's where the post-plant util becomes too oppressive to play into. Time is short. Aspas waiting, such patience in a moment like this. He's got to go for the defuse right about now. Tailwind gets a 3rd. On for 4, but Zelsis won't allow it.
It just doesn't matter. The clock is too low. That is just where the SEN comp excels. And as you're describing it, it's MIBR trying to really force a play into Art where they heard the noise, pop flash in, but they were thrown into disarray from the utility that was coming in from SEN. I believe it was the clone running forward from Zekin, him and Narrate able to play together to clean up both kills. Finally, an attack round, 1 in OT.
Yes.
It has been a nightmare for MIBR to try and win one of those, and they need that to stay in the game, or as Sentinels going to Masters and MIBR going home. A team that's really defied the odds, an organization that hasn't found success yet in the VCT. Now for the first time with the star of Brazil, Aspas. They are on the cusp of staying in this series. They need to step up now.
For the first time this overtime, they're on the back foot, MIBR. Nothing free this round for Shannon. Celsius shows, but gets away to safety. Zekin has held his ground, but he falls. Oh, that's a tough one. The dynamic duelist out of the picture here for Sentinels. And now MIBR have a chance to start to close the net and take us to a 35th round of Pearl. Celsius a little fortunate there. Wind blows in the right direction.
Oh, wow. That's so intelligent from Bang with the recall smoke, so he can path for the rotate.
Yeah,
but Shannon aware, he's gotten all of this space.
It's called a rotate.
All of MIBR on the way.
Cortezio is in a position to hear all of this. The pitter-patter little feet.
Oh, does he go for this? This timing window is insane.
It's unreal. He's going to get one at least. Surely no! Fate smiles on Sentinels, but Shannon's able to find Celsius as he attempts to get to the B site.
Turns off that utility that was in the site as well. 4 versus 3. Can this be their first attack round? They still need to get into the site. And Eric gets one. The time is so low.
No plant yet. Running out of time at MIBR, but they do get the stick. It's now or never. Sentinels trying to book their ticket to Masters Bangkok. And MIBR digging their heels in with their last ditch to take us to more overtime. Aspas will wait. Here's Artazine holding his ground, and they've done it! We've got more Valorant left in this yet. Bring on the 35th.
Absolutely mental. Both teams decide why not win an attack round this time. SEN with their first opportunity to close in OT. They can't get the job done. And if there's one thing you can certainly say about Artzin, he's playing with confidence, even with the importance of this game weighing on him as an entry player, as an IGL for this squad. He wins the duel against Zekin, one of the best aimers in the world, to open that round up.
Time to jump. Then Shannon gets into B, calls that big rotate.
0 Point gets a ton of information for MIBR. It's certainly going to slow SEN down at least a bit. They get the orb onto Zekin, trying to play into the dimensional drift, where they found so much success across all of Kickoff, having really leaned into Yoru. This is such a clash of meta decisions, these two teams, MIBR, who are really playing the classic agents on these maps, versus SEN that heavily leaned into Tejo as soon as we began Kickoff, have leaned fully into Vice, Yoru.
We're getting close to the back cover of the playbook for both teams here, surely. Early exploration from MIBR to double door and towards Art. Yields nothing because SEN are playing a slow default.
The stealth drone is going to push Aspas back. Again, here is that play we've seen multiple times. Double initiator drone, either side of mid. Push Zekin into the link. He's got a gate crash out to get back towards A main as well.
They know they're not going to get wrapped on here in Art. They can go for this push now. So Aspas, yeah, got marked there for a moment. Shannon sees the clone go past, and we're calling it audible to head over towards B. Zelsis will be the first there, but there's still all this KJ util. It has to be cleared.
Cortezia is going to have to at least get one in this situation.
Young Carlton Banks has to be the one to stand up under scrutiny here. Here's second pass. It's Aspas, though, that opens up the account. And Cortezia's got no reason to peek! What? Zekin's not ready, he swings on him. John has to go big. But Bang, in dismay, sees the house of cards come crumbling down. And once again, SEN have to defend their right to advance out of this map.
That is pace. Ruthless aggression from MIBR getting back into the B site. They stacked over A. SEN hit them with a great rotate. It's Cortezia's delay and hauls as well, finding his. And you can always rely on Aspas to get at least one kill with the op. Picks off Zelsis, who was trying to get a kill via the one-way. But that one-way works just as well for the Opper. MIBR, another opportunity to close this game out. What is this, 5 if I'm not mistaken, 6? I'm losing count, man, but they've had a hell of a lot of tries.
At this point in the map, there's nothing left but that pure grit and determination. Will to win. Once again, MIBR, like you said, at advantage point here.
We've seen this from them before, that early drone to try and insert someone deep over towards the B site. It was Shannon before trying to find that lurk timing. Call to rotate late from his team to A to B. They've got a turret watching for that A main push-up. Cortezia is getting active on the lurk with that Nebula popped.
Much like Sen the last round, they're able to get a player down Art. That's going to be checked though. I think John re-clears that with a stealth drone, and there's also going to be a Prowler that threatens to confirm the position of Cortezia, but he's stuck here. He's going to go for water. Zelsis though is the one about to get busy. Razorvine disregarded. Enemies ignored. Smoke pushed into. And that's Zenom that picks him up. Here's Cortezia now. He's a big problem. A thorn in the side.
Oh, no.
Get him out of there!
Just barely half of his HP ripped away. Finally, the site anchors dealt with for MIBR. They've gotten the util out of Zelsis. They finally get the spike down.
MIBR are on the precipice here of staying alive in this series. Cortezia strikes back with a vengeance. Narrate somehow that second bullet through the masonry. Don't ask me how it hit. And Aspas is low. Sen have to get onto this side proper though.
Oh my god, Aspas is trying to rotate. God knows where right now.
Alone. Aspas, what are you doing? You're too late. It's all gone wrong for MIBR. And Sen again have evened the game. We're going to round 37.
What a absolute disaster. Tragedy at the end. MIBR haven't gotten a better chance than that. They break the site open, they kill the anchors, trade out with man advantage. And then Nere comes in, finds his two-piece. The spike isn't even planted for long. It's not even planted for long.
Oh, head in hands.
Oh my god.
Somebody, please think of Cubit, please.
That could mentally be the death blow for MIBR. They felt that that was their win. That was where they were going to close the map out and get us to Pearl. They can't be out of it due to that, though. They have to stay in the game. As exhausting as it's been, as frustrating as it's been, that they haven't been able to close out with so many opportunities.
MIBR and Sentinels are both left it all out there on Pearl.
I mean, this is one of the most mental Valorant games we have seen in some time, certainly in Kickoff.
It's MIBR with the last vestiges of strength trying to stay alive and give themselves a chance of being the ones at Masters instead.
Sentinels have got him in control. MIBR, they want to re-clear this. Could be their undoing.
Back up for days, Wyatt! John QT, the shot goes wide! And Artesian is able to get there!
Achenem just needs to run, just get out. You've got the advantage. Play for the retake now, MIBR.
Second thought to check the smoke. Nobody was in there. Shannon was out of dodge entirely, and Narrate gets given a stay of execution.
He's gotta get that.
He comes back for a second bite of the apple. Okay, Tezia will punish him. 2 up for Sentinels, just 2. An ill-fated attack round now has to be carried by Zekin and Zelsis. And there it is, Zekin, not able to get it.
And Zelsis is going to be swarmed. There's just no way to win that out. MIBR have done it. Artzin is coming up with the most impactful kills in this OT, despite being head in hands after losing that tragic last round. He took matters into his own hands.
What is it going to take for MIBR to win this map, Wyatt? How much more?
He's trying to trade, but the crosshair is immediately on him. That position red by the IGL of MIBR. They've got, what is this, their 40th chance to close the game out?
Round number 38.
Someone ask Sliggy. I can't keep count.
It's been a patchwork of rounds. Shannon struggled, really. Only one opportunity to close the map out for them. So far, they've been trying to return serve in this overtime. Second with an Aspas look here, could be overwhelmed.
First time, I believe, that they've even played with this operator. Recall
get out.
to cross. Second is going to be in trouble.
Okay.
Just in time, gets away.
Spidey senses clearly tingling, and there's Aspas downed. Okay, Zelsis in a ridiculous position. Artesian walks face first into it.
We're going all night. We're going till 2 a.m. on this map.
We don't have any plans this evening. Cancel the reservations. We're locked in.
Slowing down just a tad in the mid-round.
The round wins and losses will continue until morale improves.
Shannon, he's got the spike, crucially, over towards that B site.
Okay, a moment here for Shannon to consider the situation. He knows likely the side is still canvassed, of course, with that Vice util.
I mean, MIBR on the map right now looking like the mini-map in my ranked games, bro. They're everywhere. There's no one is playing together. And Nos was just trying to get into A.
I mean, how much is your mental bandwidth
30 seconds
taxed?
left.
30 seconds.
The spike, by the way, is still in Wichita, Kansas. Okay, here it comes. Making its way cross country. Haunt, though, does get a ping. Noswa delayed here from this plant.
The time is so low and you're trying to plant against this comp. Good luck.
There's got to be a gap, though, in this util at some point. Cortesi gets the rate. There's no stop on the spike plant. MIBR have a real chance at this. In what was a 3v5, they're down to 2 now.
Cortesi is just so low on HP. It's going to be in the hands of Nos. We're playing from Art.
All right, shot missed there for Zelsus. He gets off the line. Noswa peers
That was
in.
timing that he should have hit.
Cortesia, there's going to be a defuse at some point. And eventually, the numbers now start to drop away. 27 points of health and a dream for Cortesia.
A single bullet.
And they'll block the shots as long as they have to.
Shorty's not going to get the job done at that distance.
A kill that means nothing there for Cortesia at the end of the round.
I mean, just stat padding only. Holy man. We just don't stop.
This is now a record for the most rounds played in a VCT Americas game, folks. The longest match, the longest map, rather, we have ever seen.
It took 38 rounds for Zekin to bust out the defensive glass cannon off an OT. He just realized it after 2 hours of game. Wait, what if I op a B long? I haven't bought that yet.
Stay with us as we descend into madness, folks, and into uncharted territory on Pearl. One thing's for sure, you're guaranteed a good time. Can SEN get to advantage here?
At this point, just take it to Drift and end this with a TDM game.
Some real Drift fans in the room, I appreciate it. So last time, the last longest game was another Aspas one. Okay, a moment here to breathe. I appreciate it myself.
Portal closed.
Very slow default here for SEN, giving up much of the map, hoping for a walkout from MIBR that frankly is not going to come.
It is patient from Sentinels at the moment. And typically, they've been putting a lot of emphasis on heavy pressure, Art and Link at the same time. With the double drones from their initiators. This is the smallest of angles from Cortesia.
It is a pinhole.
I mean, rare as well that MIBR are playing rather safe here. They put so much emphasis on a main control. This round is passive from both sides.
Oh, he gives himself away. Zekin was pushed back by the alarm bot, so he's going to get through now. Aspas, surely ready for this. Okay. Prowler just took a giant bite out of crime, but Shenob's got the dirtiest of angles. Sees Zekin coming. MIBR with the player advantage, but we're in a post-plant world now. Aspas low to the Razorvine, down to 50. Zelsa setting up more of this architecture now. How do MIBR get through all this util? First Razorvine.
The Razorvine is so good for delay. John still has that concuss, and crucially, he has the guided salvos for more delay. And Bang is alive. There's stars on the spike. Guys, we gotta move. We gotta tap it. We have to get this util out.
And they can't lose anyone to these salvos. MIBR get off, but Nos was down though. Aspas, Shorty in the smoke. Got a mustard in the kitchen with a candlestick. It's John who finds Aspas. 2 left for Sentinels, and they're gonna push through. It's all on John. He gives up the ghost.
The tiniest of timing windows. 3 seconds remaining. MIBR, they are able to rush that crossfire setup to Art, to A main. Aspas, he served as the distraction with the updraft spin so they could get into main. Cortesia finding the timing off the reload to win that last fight. This was such a sick angle from Shannon, by the way, just to get that first kill. Oh my God, man.
VCT Americas Hotel California, folks. You can check out whenever you like, but you ain't leaving.
And surely MIBR finally close out now after being at the advantage. Oh my God. I mean, Kaplan is being tortured by this game.
On the upside, we've discovered the cure for hypotension, Wyatt. For Kaplan.
Similar opening that we've seen from MIBR, which feels dumb as hell to say at this point. We've seen everything they've got. The strat book, it's absolutely been taxed. It's
We're on the bleeding edge of Valorant. Okay, that util doesn't really shake Zekin at all. Zelsa's tucked as per usual. This has got to be a spot you check. Aspas gets across the side and John just gets ripped a new one.
He's determined to win.
And they're so close. Wyatt, they're so close. Narrator with something to say. Zekin's found one and we're down to a 3-piece each. But there's Artazine. Crucially, Zekin gets another. Spike, no plan of that yet, and Shenum, he is on in. It's on.
It's finally done, MIBR. The longest game in America's history. They've taken it down 2-0 in maps in the series. We're not done yet. What a mental blow to Sentinels, who could have booked their ticket to Masters off a win there in OT. Exhausting affair for them, and now they have to rally back. And after a game like that, my God, MIBR have to be feeling good heading into Split, where their double duelist has been elite.
For Sentinels, it's tough. It's tough to come so close and be denied. However, they know just how much MIBR would have to do to get out of this series alive. They've already got themselves 2 map wins. They're going over to Split, in which they had a pretty solid win against Loud. It's a good map for this team as well.
I'm definitely getting one of the Red Bulls when we go to the break.
Load them up. Yeah. I need a conveyor belt on them. Mainline it into me, folks.
IV Red Bull drip. Oh my God, what a map. That was outrageous. I can't believe we're still going. I can't believe MIBR rallied back. And Shenum, the rookie, was such a star in the server.
Let's see what these teams still have in their tank, because we're settled for a best of 5, folks. A quick break for us now, but when we return, our analysts will get us ready for map number 4. God help us all.